We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Zack Seeler, Miami Dolphins defensive tackle, who had the most dominant performance, I think, of the season from a Dolphins player. He was destroying this poor Seattle offensive line, and the Seahawks line is very, very bad, and I think that's like a big reason the Dolphins defense was able to find some success in this game, is they were just able to continuously get after the quarterback. Seeler was really, really good in this game, and I think that's really, really important for the Dolphins defense in general. They need Sieler to take that, next step on a consistent basis. And he's been pretty good this season. I think he's been one of the more consistent players, but we really got to see him be dominant. And I, always going to be a big fan of Zack Seeler. He did a good job versus the run. He got to get an interception in this game, which is pretty fun too, which I think he deserved for how dominant he was. Got a sack, doing things from multiple different alignments, just making plays, hustle plays as well. Even when he wasn't able to get there initially, you can just see the effort that he's able to play with. So a lot to take with this defense. I'll do other breakdowns, in the coming days on Calais Campbell, who's played really good. I think Jalen Ramsey had his best game versus the Seahawks. I want to do a video on the 3 safety look, because the Dolphins had 3 safety a bunch in the second half because of some of the corner injuries. They'd only shown a little bit of it, and I thought it looked really nice, so I want to break that down. But Seeler, here off the edge, this is an interesting look. They had Phillips line up out, the Seahawks went empty here, so Phillips is lined up off screen here, on a slot receiver, and they have 3 down linemen. So Seeler basically gets an edge rep here. He can play as a big edge, and he gets it versus their best offensive lineman, Charles Cross, a left tackle. But Cross is known for his athleticism, so Sealer's able to take advantage with his power, use a push and pull here. Good, leverage, good pad level. Gets this guy and pulls him down, throws him out of the way. Just using your strength and length to your advantage versus a guy who, is definitely smaller and not as powerful as you. And he's able to get around the edge. Great movement skills for a guy of his size. And they were just, able to win this matchup. Cross didn't lose too many matchups in this game. And, the one time he went against Sealer absolutely dominated that one-on-one rep and was able to create a sack. So lots of good positive plays. There's still some things I think the defense needs to work on to be better. I would feel a big chunk of the game, 80% I would say was good, but there was that 20% that definitely will hurt them in other scenarios if they don't clean up those situations. But really a lot of things to from Zack Seeler, who is one of the Dolphins' best players. And if the defensive line can play like they did in this game, against tougher offensive line opponents, that will be huge for their success, stopping the run and then getting after the passer. It's the key for them right there. Here he gets the holding call. Connor Williams, he's going up 1-on-1 versus the center. Obviously, Dolphins fans familiar with Connor Williams. He's lined up as a 2-eye here, and he's exchanging gaps back to this backside A gap here. So looks like he's got the play side A gap. Boom, feels Connor step to him. He's able to hit that club rip, win to the gap there, and he wins so quickly that Connor Williams has to hold him. He still would have been able to get his tackle for loss, pulls him to the ground, and they still would have made that tackle for only a few yard gain, but just really dominant rep by Steeler getting that holding call. Because I saw some people saying oh, Dolphins defense didn't play that good because the Seahawks killed some of their own drives with penalties. But I'm but those penalties were needed penalties, it would have been a big play for the Dolphins defense if they didn't commit those penalties. So this is why I'm saying sometimes there's penalties that kill drives. That were really unnecessary. They didn't even need to happen on the play for the same effect to happen. But this penalty needed to happen for this not to be a big tackle for a loss, because Seeler won that rep at just instant. And he was just getting after the quarterback all day, even when he wasn't creating sacks. But look at him one-on-one with whether it was the right guard, left guard, beat the Connor Williams in the run game on the last play, hit that club, swim, over move. These guards were playing horrible football, by the way. The guards were really bad. And Seeler definitely plays a part. And you can just see how good of a player he is. Technique, shock, powerful hands. Could have a little bit better hand placement there with his initial right hand, but he gets over the top. Movement skills, moves really well, throws that left arm back. Good core strength. Able to bend a little bit there too, get after the quarterback. Just a lot of good things. And I think one thing Seeler does really well is on these stunts. When he is the crash guy, look at him create he gets up into the left guard, push, pull, and then he gets to the outside half, then also gets into the left tackle, but he's splits them perfectly. He splits them perfectly where the left guard has to still keep his body on Seeler here because left tackle has nothing on him, but then it also creates that free lane for Agba. But then Sealer is still in a good position to get after the quarterback, so Geno has nowhere to go. and then that led to that interception. So Sieler played a huge part in that. Love working him on stunts. I think pretty much every stunt that's been successful has involved Sieler so far this season, pretty much. With him being that crash guy, like just creating a lot of opportunities, consistently getting after the quarterback. Even when plays like, even on Seattle's successful plays, like right here, they're trying, like, this is just great instincts. And I mean, they get the completion, but look how fast he wins. Like, think of all the times the Dolphins run play action and then they slide their protection and then they pull the guard away, and like it creates like this big, space, like creates this big nice pocket for the quarterback. They use that play action. Sealer has faced that so many times where like he feels the left guard pulling. Once he feels that pull, this guy's moving, replace him. So just boom, follow him through. Great hand placement here. He hits the club, arm over, gets it to the back of the elbow of the center there on Connor Williams. There's great placement. And then he's explosive off the ball, and Connor's not able to get to him, and he's able to get upfield and would have got a quick hit on Geno. For how quick this ball was released, for him to hit Geno Smith on that play was just shows how quickly that he was able to win. If they were able to play a little bit better in coverage, where they had to, say David Long was right here, he had to hold onto the ball, they would have been turned into a sack or a throwaway. Just really good stuff there from Sieler. Great awareness versus screen and hustle play to get out on sharp and egg. And considering this was like a second and long situation, I believe. It was a very long down. I think it was after like a holding call or something like that, or a sack where they're in a very long situation. They try to hit the screen. Sieler, you can tell, recognizes it but from how he plays it initially. He doesn't really try to rush. He sees that he's kind of getting double teamed initially, so he's like, I'm not going to try to win this rush. I think they might try to run a screen. This is just awareness. He feels it comes out, boom, works through the block of Connor Williams, and then shows off great hustle and some range. Like, I feel like Sealer's athleticism is a little bit underrated. Like, he's not a top tier athlete for a D tackle, but he's definitely a pretty dang good one, and definitely the best player up front. And Calais is playing really well too for in the interior D line room. Those are definitely your best two guys. Deshaun Hand has made some plays. We actually saw Brandon Peely make one play in this game, so hopefully he can keep flashing. But I think once Phillips becomes fully healthy, because you can still tell he'll have his good reps, but he's still recovering from the Achilles stuff. I think once Chubb comes back, and hopefully he can be pretty healthy, and then by then, hopefully Chop has developed some passer rooms, because you can see the potential with Chop too. It's just the edge room is missing just a little something there, just a little development from Chop, and then the other guys being healthy could really help take the defensive unit to the next level, because those guys getting healthy helps everyone across the board, the entire defense, if those guys end up coming back. And then here's a Sealer interception, which is help created by Calais. Sealer is getting double teamed here, so he's just kind of staying patient. You don't always need to. You want to be like maintain your rush lane in case the quarterback tries to escape. You're in a spot to get over there and like play, your gap responsibility. But since he's being double teamed, he's not. He's just sort of reading the lane, potentially going to get his hand up if it goes towards him. He sees that Calais tips it up. Boom, interception. Great job from Sealer. Love that he got an interception. I feel like he's been getting a lot of plays. Like he had the defensive touchdown last year and the year before that in Buffalo. Last year he had one against Tennessee. Just really good stuff. I like seeing Zach make some plays like here. Sometimes your rush plan doesn't always work. They slide protection to the left or hits his side, so they've got multiple bodies on him. You can tell they were focusing on Sealer a lot. Calais is able to create a pressure because he gets one-on-one. Sealer's now trying to loop around late. He sees Geno escaping the pocket and then takes a great angle, makes this adjustment because he's ready to loop around. Once he sees Geno escape, you see him make that slide adjustment and then just put his head down and chase after him, which doesn't allow Geno to escape and rush for any yards. He basically has to throw it now or get nothing, and then he throws it out of bounds. So loved this game from Zack Seeler. Loved all the different types of plays that he was able to make. I think this was huge. Obviously, Dolphins didn't win, so they really do need the defense to keep playing better. But it's tough to ask for the defense to really do everything. And really, it's the offense that has been very, very bad. I do think the defense can still show improvement, but to me, they're playing pretty good football, and it's a new defensive system, and they're still not 100% healthy at every position. So I expect the defense to keep improving slightly, depending on matchups. Obviously, things can change, but then when it comes down, the offense is really where that season can go. I know people have given up on the season. It definitely doesn't look hopeful for them, but realistically, the Dolphins are 8th place in the AFC. The 7th place seed, who would be the wild card spot. They have the exact same record as the Dolphins. So it's not like they're out of it yet. Like there's a lot of AFC teams that are really struggling. Like the Ravens are also 1-2. The Bengals are 0-3. They're obviously not in the bad spot with the quarterback situation, but the Dolphins have a very winnable schedule coming up. I hope they start Tyler Huntley at quarterback. I think he's given the best chance to win. But even with bad quarterback play, because I think the next like 3 teams they're going to play are going to also have bad quarterback play. I think the Dolphins have a potential chance to win all of those. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't know if they will win. They could easily also lose all of them. But if they're able to win like 2 out of 3, and then 2 overturns, Dolphins are not quite out of it yet. And who knows when that switch will flip, because sometimes teams have slow starts and turn it around. Maybe that will be the Dolphins this year, even though it hasn't been under McDaniel. It's kind of been the opposite. Maybe they'll be a late season team, but I haven't completely given up yet. But I think if they lose to Tennessee this week, that's like kind of this, especially if it's bad, that's pretty much the sign that it's over, because Tennessee's been one of the worst teams in the league. So if you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.